Okay, we are live on this fabulous day. How are you all? Did I hear Boris was shaking hands with COVID-19? Yes, he boasted that he was shaking hands with patients a week or two before he was confirmed to have it. And Glee, hello to you. Lovely to see you. I see you, Justin. Very slightly late starting. Young Mazangri was doing some last-minute sourdough preparations. It's quite the process, making sourdough and the thing. Catherine, what cocktails can you make with vodka, Aperol, bitters, lemonade, and lemon juice? Ugh, you are set, actually. Now, what I recommend you do, Catherine, because you might need it, is a sweetener. This is going to depend totally on your taste. But I don't know that you want to go to the trouble of making a sugar syrup. You could actually use just a little bit of, particularly if you have caster sugar, or anything sweet, like a little bit of syrup or honey, because what I would say straight up, vodka, Aperol, and lemon juice, absolutely. I would do that in measures of 1 part vodka or 2 parts vodka to 1 part Aperol to 1 part lemon juice. So if you were doing 1 ounce or 30 mils of vodka, I'd be doing a ½ ounce, 15 mils of Aperol, and 15 mils of lemon juice. Now, because Aperol's bitter and lemon juice, is sour bitter, that might be overpowering. Actually, do you want me to test run it, Catherine? Because I've got all those things. Yeah, you might want to sweeten it, because with both Aperol and lemon juice, that might be a bit much. Might not be. And you could splash a bit of bitters in. I would try. Or, actually, make a tall drink. Yeah. A lot of ice. You don't need the sweetener. You've got lemonade. That's what I'm thinking. Okay. So, depends how strong you want to make it. 1 shot or 2 shots of vodka and half the quantities of Aperol and lemon juice, and top it up with lemonade. So tall glass, and 1 part vodka to ½ part Aperol to ½ part lemon juice, and top it up with lemonade. And I reckon that would be a good drink. I reckon that would be a really refreshing drink. And we go, hello, Kaiju and Sally. Hello, hello, hello. And Miss Foxificationing, good evening to you. Luke, Adelaide public transport's gone cashless. Melbourne public transport's been cashless for friggin' ever. Hand sanitizer is a forbidden pleasure, Sally. I like that. The old joke about you shouldn't try and make it with vodka, because vodka is only 40% alcohol, and to be effective against germs, hand sanitizer should have a base that's at least 60% alcohol. Fortunately, I have some alcohol that is 80% alcohol, so I could do that. Is anyone else experiencing very regular buffering? I don't know. I could do the old plug the cable in, may or may not help. If more than one person is having a problem. Okay. So that's the problem when there's buffering and stuttering in the stream. There's 1,000 things it could be, and I have a level of control over one of them. It might be my ISP. It might be something that's routing from StreamYard. It might be something to do with YouTube. It might be something to do with the ISP at your end. or anything in all the ways in between. The internet is such a complex system, it's almost impossible to troubleshoot. So there's a bit of a thing. Just your supermarket car park spits out tickets rather than having to push a button. Yes, we're all averse to pushing buttons these days. Catherine, you found your shot glasses. Okay. Depends how strong you make it. First thing I do is a tall glass, put quite a bit of ice in it. At least half fill the glass with ice. And then it's down to you how strong you want to make the drink. Aperol's not very alcoholic, so you don't have to worry. It's like, how much vodka do you want? Do you want a shot of vodka or 2 shots of vodka in your drink? If you do 2 shots, do 1 shot of Aperol and 1 shot of lemon juice. Or if you're just doing 1 shot of vodka, half a shot of Aperol, half a shot of lemon juice. And top with lemonade. Okay, so do 1 shot vodka, half a shot Aperol, half a shot lemon juice, and top with lemonade. And I think that would be, honestly, if I didn't already have my fruit juice, I'd make one of those myself. So I don't know why my lime sunk. Probably because I've had it in drinks all day. I think it's absorbed from the Pepsi I was drinking. It's a little bit tart. I used the last of this lemon lime juice I had. I thought, that's not too much. It's not too much, but I wouldn't want any more in there. Let's see. Yes, that's a good point, Sally. Car park technology goes ahead in leaps and bounds, but getting tested for COVID-19, what a pain. Yes, the newest supermarket car park in my neck of the woods, like, scans your number plate when you go in and scans you on the way out to determine how much you owe for parking. Technology, eh? If it's about getting us to pay for something, they will definitely invent the technology to make us pay for something. So just out of interest, I am going to, I didn't even look up for the, okay, a vodka Aperol Spritz. That's basically what we're talking about. Vodka Aperol Spritz. Okay, that's really interesting. This version doesn't have lemon juice in it. There's a lemon wheel. They actually said equal parts Aperol and vodka. So try Catherine, with 1 shot vodka and half a shot Aperol, and see what you think. If it's not too bitter, maybe another half shot of Aperol. But if you like it as is, don't worry about more Aperol. Shirazi, hello, and Adele, hello. What are you saying? The most confusing part is the time-honored tradition. Oh, wow. You don't get on the bus. You don't go past the driver. Good for the driver. So Delhi's testing everyone. Yeah, I worry that India is on the cusp of shit going pear-shaped, quite honestly. Adele, I hope everyone's having a good day too. Happy Monday. Just saying, guys. And yes, with the name of the day that I decided to name after, National I Am in Control Day. And people coined it that after the attempted assassination of Ronald Reagan, because notoriously, when Reagan was rushed into surgery, honestly, he wasn't expected to survive. Secretary of State Alexander Haig is known to have said, as of now, I am in control here in the White House. And he was taken to task for those words by the media because that's not how it works. Next in line is obviously the vice president. And after that is Speaker of the House. But Haig says he was saying, I'm the most senior person here. The president's in trouble. So listen to what I say, until the vice president gets here. That's why I think it could also be called National Try Harder Day, because it was an unsuccessful attempt, but Okay, Catherine, there you go. We got a winner. That was actually a good combo of things. Ooh, Adele, you made pineapple crumble and got your lease renewal. So that's okay. Yeah, just anxiety's normal at the moment, though. Just saying, gatherings of only 2 people keeps things intimate. Yeah, I find the phrasing "public gatherings of 2 people" really dumb, quite honestly. It's obviously one stop short of total isolation, and I'm not altogether sure why. But yeah, it's a bit weird. It's like my friend Philip came to pick up Lego I had, because the big box of random Lego parts that no one wanted to play with anymore in this house. And I thought, well, a lot of people trapped in home. Someone can find it useful. Philip has 2 small kids, and he said, I'll have it. So he came over and picked it up. We had a socially distanced conversation. When I knew he was coming, I put the box out on the driveway where he could pick it up. And when he got there, I went out and we had a talk, a couple of meters apart from each other. We were doing the right thing. Oh, wow. Yeah, Shazi, I'm sure Scotty from marketing and his clowns are probably doing a lot of screaming about being in control when they're really not. Adele, you had a panic attack talking to GP. Yeah, look, like I said, even if you're not actually prone to anxiety and panic attacks, it's a normal reaction to what fuck is going on at the moment, quite honestly. Sally, you're for the jigsaws? I'm yeah, my life's not actually that. Okay, it's different not going into the office. I'm working from home rather than working from the office. But I never used to go out. Most of my time was with my family. So it's not as different as some people are experiencing. Justin, will there be a baby boom? No, I think people are too anxious to have unprotected sex, quite honestly. Oh, wow. Catherine, you had that roll in the fridge because you don't know what to do with it. To go to your GP for a procedure today, he was horrified you'd purchased alcohol. Oh, no. Well, I mean, because a very popular drink is just the Aperol Spritz, and that's just Aperol with lemonade or soda water and, squeeze of lemon in it. That's a very popular drink. There are a lot of cocktails that have Aperol or similar bitter aperitifs in them. Shazi, Brisbane elections on the weekend. Greens did well in that, didn't they? Or did they? I seem to remember seeing something about that. That the Greens did well in elections in Queensland. Yeah. There's so much going on. It's so hard to keep up with. Dare I look at maps and numbers, because yikes. That's really disconcerting. My God, the US infection rate just leaps ahead and leaps ahead. Was it Sunday? It was 120,000. Now it's 140,000. Last live stream, it was 120,000. Last live stream, Australia was just ticking over 3,000, and now we're over 4,000. There are promising signs that the rate of new infections in Australia are slowing, which is great. It's a bit too early to do. You'd really want to see a week of consistent results, and then you could start to think, oh wow, we might have some level of control here. But getting too excited over a couple of days' results is like, oh, I don't want to get there too far. Yeah. Adele, you want more cocktail videos? I shot like an informational cocktail video today that I'll probably upload tomorrow to my new cocktail channel. You should go and subscribe to my new cocktail channel if you haven't already. Because it's my first new channel in a really long time. So if you all want to be my pal, I've put the first as like an introduction video up, which I actually did like a watch party of that in the live stream a couple of weeks ago. Okay. So I'm going to be a bit rude. I'm going to put this link in here. Thank you for enjoying the first video, Adele. I appreciate your support. You should follow that link and subscribe to me. Thank you for subscribing, Catherine. Thank you, Luke. I have got a couple of subscribers, which is nice. 24 subscribers. That's nice. Thank you to the kind people who subscribed to my channel. So I'm going to put another video up tomorrow it's basically telling you how to cheat. It's telling you how to make a cocktail when you don't have the ingredients that they say you should be using, which is an important tip. And the one after that, actually, I'm not sure if I put that. There's another one I've got edited and rendered with my friend Taz before we all had to social distance. My whole thing was going to be to have friends in the video collaborating with people, getting them to taste test things. Can't really do that now. So, but I managed to shoot one video with Taz like 3 or 4 weeks ago. And that's all about making an old-fashioned with whiskey. Justin, what should you do with your $1,200 stimulus check? Cocaine. I always say that. I am very irresponsible. Yeah, so Adele, with the cheating things, I think what I'm going to do when I make a cocktail that has potentially unusual, difficult to get, or not often had in people's homes recipes, I'm going to say, here's a cheat. Like, okay, I said the ingredients are this, 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 and this. If you don't have that, try substituting with this. Don't have that, try substituting with this. Okay, Adele, just for you. Actually, this is a perfect illustration of it. So in the next day or two, I'll shoot this video. And I'll probably upload it for Thursdays, like a little something for the weekend. Enough before the weekend so it gives, an idea to try for the weekend. Going to be a blackberry bramble. And I already know, this is the thing, because one of the ingredients is something that not a lot of people will have, which is basically a blackberry liqueur. And I happen to have this Australian one, but there's lots of blackberry liqueurs out there, but not a lot of people are going to have it. I bought this bottle because I felt like supporting an Australian maker. But of course, the cheat would be it's gin and this blackberry liqueur. It's actually only a couple of ingredients, like lemon juice. What is it actually? Because I actually made it on the live stream on the weekend. Where is it? Here's the tasteful bottle from the Australian maker Marionette Liqueurs, Creme de Mure blackberry liqueur. Has the recipe on here. So it's the blackberry liqueur, gin, lemon juice, and sugar syrup. So it's pretty simple. The cheat would be, and this is like a double cheat, if you don't have sugar syrup and don't have blackberry liqueur, use some blackberry or any other dark berry jam, and like a spoonful of, so rather than the blackberry liqueur, you up the gin a bit because this is an alcohol, and you put blackberry jam or a dark berry jam in there, and shake. So that's the workaround. If you don't have the blackberry liqueur, just up the gin content a little, and put blackberry jam or any sort of jam, and that's, you don't need to add sugar syrup then because jam is obviously very sweet, and you're getting the berry taste in there. Oh, see, you've inspired me, Adele. That's the next video. There we go. Nice. Thanks for subbing, Glee. We're all turning to drink after going out. What's that, Sally? Runaways movie had the dirty sink. A little bit of everything from your father's bar. Womp womp. Everyone's tried that at some time. Catherine, will I be doing a building your noose collection video? Is that the word? Did you mean booze? That's my, the video I've already got up is talking about how to build your bar. My suggestion for the order in which you should buy things. Which incidentally, booze, let's say noose, what? Who said I was going to hang my landlord? Not me. I'm not doing that. I'm not collecting nooses and guillotines, Catherine. How dare you? How dare you? You know what? We're going to have a little watch party. I am going to show you, in case you haven't seen it, a first video on my cocktail channel. This is how to get started. So we go theater mode. All right, got to share screen. We're just... Okay, we're going to share the screen, get my Chrome tab. Where's my video? There we go. Welcome to Cocktails with Angry. Let's go full screen and play this. G'day viewers, welcome to Cocktails with Angry, or Angry Cocktails. Something I've been threatening to do for a long time. I really enjoy cocktails. I've never... Hang on, I'm having trouble with bandwidth. I'm going to go get my cable and connect. I'll be back in a sec. No, forget it. If you want. Okay. Technical problems. All right. Actually, don't do it. Don't do it. All right, I'm actually going to abandon that idea because I was screwing up the bandwidth. So forget it. Just go and watch if you are so kindly disposed. Whatever's. And no idea. I saw the question asking. He's got drama shenanigans For those who don't know, AZ is basically like a caretaker, a property manager for an apartment complex. It's mostly students in the things, in little one-room studio apartments. And there's a troublesome tenant who's been spiraling a bit. And apparently tonight is big drama. And AZ said, if I tried to do a live stream tonight, it would probably be interrupted by lots of shouting and the banging and swearing and threats of violence for a change not actually coming from AZ. Oh, Adele, thank you. Dedicating a notebook to Boo's tips and tricks. This is what I should do. I should put it all on old bloody WordPress blog that I stopped adding things to for no good reason. And then they'd all be in one place. Yes. Oh, and yes, that of course brings to mind. I haven't publicized it, but I've got what do you call it? My brain just stopped working. Yay. Why did my brain hurt? Instagram. Why did I not remember Instagram? Sally's got to go. Thanks for dropping by, Sally. Adele's going to feel like a uni lecturer with you taking notes. Yes, there is an Angry Cocktails Instagram as well, and which I haven't actually been promoting. I'm going to start promoting now. I've got the YouTube channel happening. So just checking my Instagram. Yes, it's there. Good. Yes, so I've set up the YouTube channel and the Instagram channel. So I think on the Instagram, I'll just put actual cocktail recipes. And there are just a couple of images on the Instagram of cocktails I made and the recipe for them. Might make short videos for specifically for Instagram to go up, because at the moment, there's a few. What cocktails of note did I put on the Instagram? Let me have a look. What's this about? I got a follow from Adele. Adele's officially my first follower on my Instagram account for Angry Cocktails. So the last thing I posted was not one I made. There's just like a tiki one I had. It's like the last time I was in you think I could do TikTok like the cool kids? I don't know if I can learn it. Yeah, Catherine, I'd been building up to this channel for a while. So there's a picture of a tiki cocktail I had the last day I was in Melbourne City. Fun little video of a cocktail I didn't make. I had that citrus smoke bubble. Here you go. Here's one. Oh my God, the color of that one's shocking. But it was not bad. They called it a triple A. You were asking about Aperol before. This is an Aperol one, triple A, because it's equal measures absinthe, Applejack, and Aperol. Applejack is an apple brandy, American apple brandy, and absinthe is absinthe. It was a very murky color, but it was actually, I had lime juice in it as well. It's actually a pretty good drink. What's the other one here? Oh, another absinthe one. Oh, yeah, okay. I did a tiki style one, but with absinthe. That is one I invented. I called it the Tiki Fairy. So that was Kraken Black Rum, Captain Morgan Spice Rum, Falernum, absinthe, and lime juice. Pretty beastly. And then there's another photo that was not mine. Oh, and then there's a photo of me drinking with Comrade Stalin. Okay. That's a bit dodgy, honestly. That's right. I know, Luke, the thing about TikTok and China is there's some validity to being concerned. God, why do I always forget how to change between accounts? No, that's not it. God, I'm so easily confused. I am so easily confused. God, now I can't. This is really weird. I can't. I can't change back to the accounts. I am so easily confused. It's absolutely disturbing how easily confused I am. How? Wait, is it that one? No, it's not that one. Well, I got 2 followers. Who else followed? Luke. Thank you, Luke. I got to promote that one more because I haven't been promoting it. Is it that? Why can't I change back to the accounts? Why am I... Wait, is it that? No, it's not that. God damn it. I must have done that before. Close friends, name tag, activity. Oh my God. Oh, it's that. God damn it. It was so obvious when I found it. So obvious. Yes, I know. Okay, now I know. Now, oh God. I'm just so easily confused. It's really disturbing, in all honesty. Okay. So much for that little adventure. The Angry Cocktails channel and thing. Angry Cocktails Instagram. I don't know if I can be bothered to try and work out TikTok, quite honestly. Okay, so what's with China and TikTok? A TikTok's made by a Chinese company. It certainly stores enough information and has access to enough information on your phone that it could very easily be used for nefarious purposes. For instance, if you're a young person in China, it would very much let the authorities track all your movement. We don't know that there's active collusion between the company behind TikTok and the Chinese regime. There's no reason to trust them, though. There really is no reason to trust them. Nice, Catherine, feeling it already. What are other good Aperol cocktails? Aperol cocktails. Now, you don't have other ingredients, but Aperol Spritz, like I said, is very popular. It's usually actually with wine, Prosecco. But yeah, you just wanted some Aperol and some soda water or lemonade. But yeah, you could do Aperol and wine and lemonade, white wine. What mixes well with Aperol? Works in a margarita, a daiquiri, a julep. If you're shaking up a citrusy cocktail, a little Aperol will make it pop. There you go. A highball, which is basically what you made. That's a tall drink is a highball. So the simplest thing is just Aperol and soda or lemonade. But Aperol, vodka, lemon juice, and lemonade is a pretty good treat. If you had other ingredients, Aperol goes with a lot of things. So, trying to think, who was it? The Difford's Guide. One of the websites I get a lot of recipes or recipe ideas from. Cocktails by ingredient. Aperol by liqueur. Aperol. There we go. What does this recommend with Aperol? And Enrico Palazzo. That's from The Naked Gun. Hey, it's Enrico Palazzo. Wow, that's bourbon, vermouth, and Aperol and gin or gentian. I'll try that one. Bourbon and vermouth and Aperol and they say gentian liqueur. I'd probably just use gin. It's like a riff on a Manhattan, which is a drink I don't mind. Yo, Frankie, how are you going? So, yeah, what else are they suggesting? I just like Enrico Palazzo because it's such a funny name. If you know, yeah, there's actually a few classics, like the Paper Plane. What do you need for that? That's another bourbon one. Bourbon and Amaro and Aperol. Oh yeah, see, but that's the thing. Aperol goes with everything. It basically brightens up any. If you had tequila, like if you were making a margarita, you could make it with Aperol. Like put Aperol on top of the normal things, and that would give it a different flavor profile. Aperol is actually quite versatile. Sort of like it's the cousin to my nemesis. Oh, Campari. Campari is just too bitter as far as I'm concerned. And maybe I just have a bad association with it. But yes, no Campari for me. Do Aperol. And in fact, I actually got an alternative bitter red aperitif. It's a cherry version of it. And it's pretty good too. Still not working, Frank? Okay. Oh, and then you got 4 days work and then you're on holidays. Nice. Good timing. It's too stressful being at work at the moment. Fewer and fewer people are actually on work. Just the tensions are rising around the world for completely legitimate reasons. All kinds of not good. So, and this whole fucking coronavirus thing is still at a stage where it feels unreal, and a lot of people are still capable of convincing themselves it's not a big deal, and the next month is gonna show something different, because it's been fucking building up steam for the last month, has obviously already hit in a very bad way in a lot of places. But it's the most disturbing thing is we're in the "you ain't seen nothing yet" phase. And we've got on. It's so hard to not talk about this. And denial's not good, but obsession is not good either. Look how much damage in the US. The US is fucked. The US is absolutely fucked. It seems an exaggeration, but honestly, barring a miracle, a death toll over the next year of 1 million in the US is wishful thinking. It's just like there is almost no chance of the death toll in America being that low. That's how bad it is. And I hate saying it, but Catherine, you left. I did actually leave the house today. Got a couple of supermarket-y things because my lad is staying here for another week. I thought he was going to his mum's this week, but he's staying here for another week. So I had to revise the food situation. So we went out and got a few things. And now all is under control. It's just so weird not knowing exactly how things are going to go in the next couple of weeks. So she's got to try and stay positive. So I'm thinking of, we flip it. I did notice on the national, remember how I said today was I'm in control day or try harder day because it's the failed assassination attempt on Ronald Reagan. It was also in America, I think it's National Doctor Appreciation Day, which, given current circumstances, very apt. Very, very apt. But really like this page that just has the weirdest national days. March 30. So it's Doctor Day or Doctor Appreciation Day, just National Doctors Day. I do like it's National Pencil Day. National Pencil Day. Appreciate your pencils. National Doctors Day. Well, you know, doesn't take much to appreciate doctors at the best of times, and this is not the best time. I do like the idea. National Virtual Vacation Day. Again, that's super apt. Someone came up with this a couple of years ago as a promotional thing. Do virtual vacations through a website. Someone started putting it out in 2016. Again, it's very apt right now, isn't it? Because we can't take real vacations. We should take a virtual vacation. So yeah, National Virtual Vacation Day is pretty good. National Pencil Day just cracks me up. Like, yeah, sure, give pencils a day. Pencil facts. This is the sort of quality content you're coming for. Pencil facts. In the United States, most pencils are painted yellow. It's believed the tradition began in 1890 when the L&C Hardtmuth Company of Austria-Hungary produced their Koh-i-Noor brand, named after the famous diamond. They intended the pencil to be the world's best and most expensive pencil. However, other companies began to copy the yellow color so that the pencils would be associated with a high-quality brand. And this great section, notable pencil users. Fucking everyone. That's hilarious to me. Notable pencil users. Fucking everyone. But, say, Thomas Edison had pencils specially made by Eagle Pencil. They were 3 inches long, thicker than standard pencils, and had softer graphite than typically available. There you go. Vladimir Nabokov rewrote everything ever published, usually several times, by pencil, which is weird. John Steinbeck was an offensive pencil user, an obsessive pencil user, said to have used as many as 60 a day. His novel East of Eden, which I've actually read, took more than 300 pencils to write. Vincent van Gogh used Faber pencils, as they were superior to Carpenter's pencils. Capital black, most agreeable. Johnny Carson regularly played with pencils at his Tonight Show desk. These pencils were specially made with erasers at both ends to avoid on-set accidents. Weird. Johnny Carson putting a pencil through someone's eye. Roald Dahl used only pencils with yellow casings to write his books. He began each day with 6 sharpened pencils, and only when all 6 become unusable did he resharpen them. Yeah, Roald Dahl was a fucking weirdo. I'm in Control Day, which is, what is it? National Walk in the Park Day. National Take a Walk in the Park Day. I actually did that. I took a walk in the park. Oh, National Something Day invented by AIDSy. That's not a good thought, Frank. That is not a good Frank. They're going to build a temporary emergency hospital in Central Park in New York. Yes, there are lots of emergency measures being done, like a Navy hospital ship's being docked off New York. Lots of places are talking things about using empty hotels as emergency hospitals because they have the beds in there. Shrazi, yeah, National Pencil Day probably was put forward as a marketing idea by a pencil manufacturer. I think you're right on the money there. So I actually celebrated National Take a Walk in the Park Day. I took a walk in the park a couple of hours ago. Could this be the best part of today, though? National Turkey Neck Soup Day. That's frighteningly precise. That is frighteningly specific. National Turkey Neck Soup Day. That is, oh, Jesus, tomorrow's fucking pretty exciting. Oh, I thought it was National Porn Day. It's National Prom Day. Damn. Still, working from home can always be National Porn Day. Okay? I'll just sue my boss for sexual harassment. Me, you know. World Backup Day. Good Lord. We have recipe of the day, shrimp fettuccine. There you go. This site's weird. I think Difford's has a cocktail of the day. What do they say is cocktail of the day? Difford's for discerning drinkers. Getting pissed. Cocktails. Cocktail of the day. And Alaska. Okay. This is an interesting anniversary of the day. In this day, in 1867, America bought Alaska from Russia for $7.2 million. Here you go. It was bought by U.S. Secretary of State William H. Seward in a deal that was known as Seward's Folly. Doesn't look like folly today. So 1867. $1867 million value. Wait, what? Buying power of $1 million in 1867. No, that's what was $1 in 1867 worth today? Okay, 1,500 times. So if I get my little calculator out to work out how much they bought, actually, that probably doesn't have enough digits. I'll bring the computer calc up. Okay, so where are we? Calculator. So if, wait, what the fuck? Okay, 7.2 million. That was the number. 7,200 times, what did I say it was? 1,621. Times 1,621.67 equals $11.5 billion. So the purchase price of Alaska in inflationary terms is about $11.5 billion. And given the natural resources on Alaska, that's probably a bargain. Hey, Safa, how's it going? Yes, you are right. If the USSR had Alaska and had nukes, America would not be happy. Italy got free Pornhub. Everyone got free Pornhub. Shrazi, fun fact, when the Russians discovered the astronaut pen, they went out and snaffled their own. Oh, we're talking about the, sorry, I missed that. The pencils one. Yes, that's a really, I saw other people were onto it. Yeah, there's that thing about how much money was spent on developing the astronaut pen, the pen that could write in 0G. There's millions of dollars and blah, 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 blah. And people think they're being clever by saying the Russians used a pencil. But pencils are actually very dangerous in space, as someone in the chat pointed out. The graphite from sharpening a pencil could get into electrics and cause fires. So pencils are actually quite dangerous in space. And a pen was a major breakthrough. Over the years, we have had a bad year. Bushfires ravaging the economy, followed by, yes, the virus. Oh, Frank, you've been looking stuff up. In 240 BC is the first recorded perihelion passage of Halley's Comet. There you go. Oh, nice. Safa. Pornhub banned in Russia. Passports needed to verify age in social media. Well, I don't know. There are some things I don't want to know. Other people's porn viewing habits are one of them. So, okay. I got onto all of that because of the Alaska cocktail and the Difford's Guide. It's the cocktail of the day because it's the anniversary of America buying Alaska from Russia. An Alaskan cocktail. What do they say is in an Alaska? Gin, yellow chartreuse, orange bitters, and either water or ice. I have green chartreuse. It's a bit stronger than yellow chartreuse. I don't have orange bitters, but I have all sorts of other bitters. Okay, man. Sorry, it's the Fairy Tale King's birthday. Oh, it's Hans Christian Andersen's birthday. There you go. And it's the Ice Cream Sunday's birthday. And, of course, we're almost at April Fool's Day. Abigail, Canadian Club Scotch. That's in taste profile, the Canadian whiskies are very close to American rye whiskies. Good thing. Khaled, hello. How are you? David, your mum was born in 1929. Lived near a RAF airfield from WW2. Yep. That's a whole fucking different thing right there. So how many years till we get back budget news? The whole thing that the fucking libs had with a budget in the black was A, bullshit from the start. It was never true. B, it's not the highest priority. The fucking well-being of the population is what the government should be fucking doing. Treating it like a fucking business is obnoxious. Frankie, even you wouldn't want to know what porn AIDS he watches. That's the thing. Do we want to know what porn AIDS he's in? He was, in fact, the accidental porn star in his... Khaled, you are watching, I guess. Thank you. Oh, God, Shirazi, would people be stupid enough to go like, I've got the Rona on April 1st as a prank? That just reminds me, though, the number of stories of people who've done something stupid and then been arrested and faced a serious charge. Like, there was the guy who did, it was either a TikTok or an Instagram video. You scared of coronavirus? And then he licked a wall of products, and it was in a supermarket or Costco. He got arrested. There's a story of some woman who deliberately coughed all over meat, and so the supermarket threw it all out, and they're charged with it. Just like, how the fuck do you not know you're going to be in the shit for doing something like that? Luke, spitting on police, that happens all the time. But every now and then, people do something that they think is funny, and then they're horribly shocked when there's repercussions. Oh, God, Abigail, you heard someone lick their card at a chair. It's just like... And these people are so shocked when they get busted. It's ridiculous. Oh, wow. The Facebook comments disappear. They were there. Khaled was saying he's Sudanese, I think. Good for you, but there you go. You're Sudanese. Good for you, buddy. The good old anthrax scare days, yes. That's what people say, oh, I'm just joking with a threat. It's like, doesn't work that way. Does not work that way. Absolutely. Like at the bloody Melbourne Cup or Caulfield Cup a couple of years ago, there's a video of it. Some stupid drunken woman thought it'd be funny. She pushed a cop over. The cop was standing next to, there's a low concrete wall. It's like below his knees. I think it worked out if you pushed, the cop would fall off this concrete wall into a garden. And so she just goes up and pushes this cop over, laughing, hee, and then just got crash tackled by two cops. And she was really shocked that the cops didn't take it as a joke. I was just like, fuck me, what is wrong with you? When people don't get that there will be repercussions. Oh, yes, David, that I have a bomb thing at the airport. That's been a prosecutable offense since at least the 70s. There's a whole rash of hijackings in the 70s. And you used to get this thing at the airport saying like, we don't take it as a joke if you say anything about a bomb or anything dangerous in your luggage. You should expect to be prosecuted if you do something as a joke. It's just so strange. People need to be told that. When was that like a guy in Sydney parked in the middle of the road and said he had a bomb? It was I saw a routine once. I forget who it was. It was an Irish comedian. He was really funny. And there's a story goes, there's a plane and there was a guy, he's being deported. So he's marched onto the plane by two of the guards, the Garda, the Irish police. And he was Middle Eastern. I forget where he's being deported to, but he didn't want to go back because I think he thought he was at risk if he got deported back. And it was like, just a commercial passenger plane. This guy between two of the guards, and just as the plane's about to take off, he apparently started shouting, "I have a bomb! I have a bomb!" And the guard would go, "No, you don't. You don't. Just sit on." And because he thought, if I make a bomb threat, they have to stop the plane from taking off. And the guard is just saying to the flight attendants, He doesn't have a bomb. It's just ignore him. Stop it. You're causing trouble. Stop it. No, ignore him. He doesn't have a bomb. And it's just the weirdest thing. Khaled, you don't understand English? Well, you're typing English fairly well. I am sure to talk about something. I talk about many things. Abigail, you had a boss who's landing back in Australia, asked if you had anything to declare. Joke you had 10. Oh, no, you don't joke that you've got 10 kilos of cocaine in your luggage. It's strip searched. Yeah, it's not a joke. It's ridiculous. Mind you, I know a couple of people who have brought stuff back in luggage that they didn't declare, and they're lucky because it was a major criminal offense. I think I've told the story before about Mrs. Angry's mum, who'd worked in an old school chemist, apothecary, basically. They had all the raw stuff that they made the ingredients out of. And I think it might have been, it was before I'd even met Mrs. Angry. She might have been pregnant at the time. But her mum brought her this thing, this medicine might help you. And I was like, what is it? And it was basically morphine. And it was a bottle this big of absolutely illicit drugs. And she was going, oh, no, it'll just help with the pain. No, you are so lucky that you're a sweet little old lady and they didn't check you at the airport and thing. And years ago, I remember when fireworks were still legal in New Zealand. I'm not sure if they still are, but years ago, they were still legal in New Zealand. And they've been illegal in Australia since I was a little fella. And this guy I knew was going on holidays in New Zealand, and he says, I'm going to bring some firecrackers back, And he said he'd sell them to us. I'm going, yeah, okay, sure. And he comes back, and he bought a fucking couple kilograms of fireworks and had them in his luggage in the plane. And I don't know, it just never got checked. This was, pre 9/11 days. People weren't that suspicious of flights between New Zealand and Australia. And he goes, oh, I got there's this box this big, and it was a couple kilos of fireworks. So black powder explosives, basically. And he took it on a plane. And I was like, what the fuck, dude? He goes, oh, it's fine. Dude, no, there's like a non-zero chance something could have happened. This could have exploded. This is more than enough to blow a hole in the side of the plane and go down, no survivors. It's more than enough for you to get a very, very long prison sentence. And he's like, really? Like, who the fuck thinks bringing 2 kilograms of explosives on a plane is a good idea? Bizarre. I was watching a Prince who's adult entertainment equipment that showed up on the scanner. Nice. David, you're right. Heroin used to be a cough remedy. There's some great bottles of cough remedy from like the late 19th century. You look at the ingredients are morphine and heroin and cocaine. It's wild. I'll look it up. I'm going to find the picture because I know what you're talking about, David. Cocaine cough. Coughing up blood. Okay. Codeine, cough syrup. Where's the image? This is it. Oh, yeah, good old cocaine toothache drops. So it does have morphia. So the ingredients in this cough syrup, there's a little bit of alcohol, a little bit of cannabis indica, a little bit of chloroform, a little bit of morphine, which is, unrefined heroin. Syrup for coughs. Indica and chloroform. Wowzers. Okay. Cocaine candy. That's, There's a joke about, geez, being a doctor in the Old West would have been wild. You got no training. You just make it up as long as you go along. You go, hell, if I know what's wrong with you, man, you got ghosts in your blood. You should do some cocaine. Cocaine was used in tooth drops because cocaine was used as a pain reliever. So you get cocaine tooth drops marketed to kids. It's for teething kids. Give teething kids cocaine. Nice. Abigail is saying a few drops of mercury can bring down a plane on a long trip. Oh, geez. There you go. I think we should stop talking about things we know that can bring down planes. Because, the NSA is listening. No, they always are. And man, you don't know. This is the big data center, and it's sucking up all the data, man. It's sucking up all the data. It's listening for keywords, man. You say terrorism, plane, explosion. That's it. You're on a fucking watch list, man. Except you kind of are. So, has anyone noticed the dumb as shit things like Nazis, extreme right-wingers in the US saying they're going to use the coronavirus to attack their enemies? And I was just thinking, yeah, but they're stupid. They're stupid, and they can't do anything. But then there was a guy, the FBI killed him. He was on his way to bomb a hospital because he thought, coronavirus was a threat to the white race. But some really stupid prick got arrested today. He showed up, I think it was at a supermarket or something. He had some liquid in a spray thing that was labeled COVID material or something. And it's like he was spraying the place, going to get you. And he got arrested for being a dickhead. And he's apparently a member of neo-Nazi groups. It's like, they're dumb as fuck. They're also reprehensible scum and need to be dealt with. But fuck me, they're stupid. But yes. Or you get heroin or heroin derivatives in medicine still. Like it was, the morphine, codeine. That's what we have in Tasmania, the poppy fields, and that's for medicinal purposes. Then you get medical grade heroin from the poppy fields of Tasmania. It's pretty wild stuff. Talked about them before. They were really, really weird because I thought there'd be security, and there's not. There's a really low fence around the poppy fields with signs saying, "Nuh-uh, don't take it. That's wrong. That's wrong and bad. It's wrong and bad if you take the heroin poppies. Don't. Bad. You're bad. Don't." And I assume it's under surveillance too. But the security levels are very low. It's a shame. I mean, the number of drugs that have been declared illegal that if they're used in a controlled way are very useful. And of course, I love that we're getting back into researching the possible beneficial effects of hallucinogens, particularly with treating mental health issues, which is quite fascinating. There are some studies in Australia. Still around now. I'm talking too much. My throat. Every time my throat gets dry, I go, this is it. It's the Rona. It's Monday night. I don't think I want to mix a cocktail on a Monday night. Will I do? No, it's probably too late to have a Pepsi. You know what I will do? Because I made up a new batch of homemade grenadine today. And how do you make grenadine at home, you ask? Glad you asked. You do 50% pomegranate juice, which I had and wanted to use up because it was probably past its use-by date, quite honestly. You'd probably find the bottle and find out its use-by date was 2 years ago, and I'd be really mortified. I don't want to know that. It had been refrigerated. It wasn't growing mold. I did look. It wasn't growing mold. But the basic recipe for grenadine is 50% pomegranate juice and 50% sugar. And so I made what's at least a slightly healthier one. Actually, it should have... I'm going to put some of the rose water in it as well, just to give it a little... I've got a rose water flavour here. Where is that? Okay, that went well. From the good people at the Bitter Truth. Rose water flavour. So, I'm going to put some rose water flavour in there. Give it a bit of character. The recipe also said orange flower water, which I don't have any of. Rose water flower might give it a nice little bit of character. So when I made this today, rather than going 50% sugar, which is a lot of fucking sugar, because pomegranate juice has a fair amount of sugar in it as well, I used half that amount of sugar, and I also used this stuff I got, stevia leaf tea. This is like supposed to be 100 times sweeter than sugar. So you often get it in artificial sweeteners, stevia. So I brewed it up. Like you boil the pomegranate juice, add sugar, stir it in, and then I added like a spoonful of that stevia leaf tea. I might just use this as a cordial. I got some lemonade. I might just make a grenadine cordial. Look, you live near the suburb of Rosewater. Nice. Oh, Frankie, some cakes filled with sort of paste with poppy seeds. One of those sort of is it true, is it a myth shows. I had Richard What's-his name from Top Gun hosting it. So can you test positive on a drug test if you have a poppy seed muffin? And you fucking can, because the poppy seeds are literally from the poppy. Same thing that makes heroin. And yeah, they had this vicar have a poppy seed muffin, then do a drug test, and he failed the drug test, like, detected heroin in his system. That's disturbing. Wait, I got to get a block of ice. I might even have 2 blocks of ice. I like a cold drink. Big gold blocks of ice. My second biggest block. What the hell was that? No, that's all good. Right, I'll put some ice in. A little bit of ASMR there for you. Ice cubes hitting the glass. That's most of the ice. All right, where did I put the lemonade? Over here. Right. Now, the grenadine is very heavy, so I'm actually going to put it in last. I'm going to put mostly lemonade. Now watch, you see how heavy, I'll do it on camera, how heavy the grenadine is. So I've got my glass of lemonade. Grenadine straight to the bottom. That's probably enough, actually. Pop the cork. Grenadine lives in my Crystal Head vodka decanter. Abigail, you used to make pure ethanol when you were in high school. Should do it some more. We could homebrew. That's only slightly illegal. Making moonshine at home. Frank, you'd go 80% sugar. Some syrups, some cocktail syrups are 75% sugar or 66%. Instead of 1 part sugar, 1 part water, they're 2 part sugar, 1 part water. Yes, Frank, you do walk fast, in fact. Walking around London with this man, and I'm a fat bastard with stubby legs, and he's very hard to keep up with. He is a fast walker, absolutely. So, God, on camera that almost looks like Pepsi. It's not quite that dark in real life. That's my grenadine cordial. Oh, it tastes good. It's a bit more refreshing. You don't have to have a cocktail every time. Just have maybe I should put some bitters in, actually. I put some bitters in, and I dropped some bitters, so I have to go back to my bitters collection. Anyway, which one did I drop, and where did it go? Which one is that? Tiki bitters. I don't want that one. Finger lime. I got so many bitters, so many types of bitters, even just good old Angostura bitters, cranberry bitters. I think I actually wanted bitters. Which one's this? Chocolate bitters. New England bitters. Not just... Oh, there's this funny one. I'll try this one. It's a very herbal bit, or most of them herbal. They call this Ancient Chinese Secret Cocktail Bitters, Mr. Lee's. What's it got in it? Mandarin, tamarind, ginger, mandarin, peppercorn, ginseng, and other spices. Put some of this. It's meant to be reminiscent of Asian spices. Mix that a little bit. And yes, I'm using my finger to mix it. All breathing manually. Thanks, Abigail. Yeah, look, I did have to get on my hands and knees there. It does. Yeah, there you go. Iced tea. I think you're right, Frank. Oh, that is good. As Daniel Megaleech found out, I'm quite a fan of just adding bitters to drinks. Like even just Pepsi Max with bitters is really nice. Speaking of things, cocaine in them. Yes, Coca-Cola. Traditional recipe, when they say throwback Coke, they just mean it's made with cane sugar rather than corn syrup, which is a noticeably different taste. Yes, they don't go the real traditional cocaine one. Oh my God, David, that thing about Bayer marketing heroin less addictive. Well, they market it to get off cocaine because, particularly in medical circles around the turn of the 19th, 20th century, cocaine addiction was a huge thing. And there's a pretty good drama series, I think it ran for 3 seasons, called The Nick. Fictionalized account of the Knickerbocker Hotel in New York, not hotel, Knickerbocker Hospital in New York in the early 20th century when they were just experimenting with surgery. Oh, shit. That was weird. I just broke this pen, or it just spontaneously broke and fired off a bit of plastic across the room. Yeah, the Nick is about the Knickerbocker Hotel. Hotel, I said it again, hospital. When they were just experimenting with surgery and, at least 50% of patients died and whatnot. And the lead character surgeon was mad addicted to cocaine. And when he finally got treated, they said, "Oh, we've got the perfect treatment. It'll bring you right down and it's not addictive." And it was Bayer's heroin. It was like, oh, geez, you got some bad news coming, guys. Yeah, I guess Shirazi bitters in any sort of drink, but yeah, any soda is good. Yeah, everyone was a fucking cocaine addict. He was just regarded as normal. Catherine, avoiding eating too much. No. I feel I am definitely going to stay a fat bastard. I think Mrs. Angry thinks I'm going to the supermarket too much because I've been twice in the last week. I just really like going to the supermarket. It's probably going to have to stop. I mean, if they totally locked us down, probably got 4 weeks of food in this house. It would get a bit dire after the first 2 weeks, but there's other stuff that would last for 4 weeks. Be getting down to fucking bare essentials by the 4-week mark, though. Might be eating Sultana brand 3 meals a day. You like my comment for Jeff today about 5 True Tales? He goes, well, why aren't they doing conspiracy theories? They are. There are so many conspiracy theories about coronavirus. Yeah. Oh, David, yes, I know that story. The guy who first took an LSD trip and then went on a bike ride because he didn't know what was going to happen. If I look it up, LSD bike ride. The day Albert Hoffman took the first LSD trip. Okay. April 19th. That's my birthday, for anyone wondering. So on my birthday, we'll be celebrating LSD Day. I literally did not know that before now. April 19, 1943. I'm not quite that old. Albert Hoffman, the Swiss father of psychedelic medicine, dropped lysergic acid diethylamine when on a bike ride, becoming the first human to ever trip on acid. The rest is psychedelic history. Hoffman had synthesized LSD in his lab as a medical stimulant for the respiratory and circulatory system, but at the time, he didn't know what powers it held. Revisiting his discovery 5 years later, he caught a glimpse of its effects when some of the drug was absorbed through his fingertips, describing the experience as dreamlike and a not unpleasant intoxicated-like condition. Intrigued, 3 days later, on a day that would go down in history as Bicycle Day, he did what any responsible scientist would do, experimented on himself, took a dose of 250 micrograms in his lab, thinking it was an appropriate threshold. We now know that he overdid it. 200 micrograms is standard, but that's only 25% over. Hoffman turned on, tuned in, dropped out for the first time. Within an hour, his perception began to ebb and flow rapidly. He began to freak out, convinced his neighbor was a witch and that he was going insane. Hoffman wanted to go home. Unfortunately, Hoffman had no access to a car because of wartime restrictions, so he had to make the journey home by bicycle. The trip was a stressful one. His vision wavered and felt as though he was motionless. But as soon as he reached his conditioned climax, He came back from a weird, unfamiliar world to reassuring everyday reality. In his notes, he went on to describe the hallucinogenic trip that would go on to inspire a countercultural revolution, and decades later, a generation of scientists looking to harness LSD to treat mental health issues. Now, little by little, I could begin to enjoy the unprecedented colors and plays of shapes that persisted behind my closed eyes. Kaleidoscopic, fantastic images surged in on me, alternating, variegated, opening, and then closing themselves in circles and spirals, exploding in colored fountains, rearranging and hybridizing themselves in constant flux. So, yes, Albert Hoffman self-dosed with a very strong trip and went on a bike ride. Frank used to think LSD was cool until he walked around at night attacking bushes because their blossom clusters look like mantis aliens about to attack me. It absolutely does mess with your perceptions. Very, very, very. Shirazi's still trying to find toilet paper. A couple of days ago, I just went to the Woolworth. They had toilet paper. Today I went to Coles. They did not have toilet paper. So it's fucking hit and miss. But it's definitely out there. The elusive beef mince is back with a vengeance. There was a period where you couldn't get beef mince. But mind you, sugar and flour are still buy-based. About 90% of pasta was gone. Lasagna always goes last. Lasagna sheets. People can't bring themselves to go to the hassle of making lasagna. But there was also macaroni. I actually bought a packet of macaroni. I think I might make some mac and cheese sometime soon. Comfort food. Where do you live, Shirazi? What city are you in? I'm thinking. I haven't been to Costco for a while. Basically the day before everything went crazy, I went to Costco because that's just the thing I do. I go to Costco, and everything was normal. There was probably slightly more people there than normal, but everything was fine and normal. And I went, maybe I'll get a thing of toilet paper, one packet of toilet paper there is 48 rolls. Now I had about half one of those at home, and I thought, I don't need it. Nah, I'll just get one. I'll get one. And the day after that, everyone went nuts, and all the toilet paper was gone. So by sheer chance, I'd bought fucking Costco-sized thing of toilet paper the day before. It never occurred to me to buy more than that. To the point when it was so bad, if there'd been anyone I knew nearby, I would have given them some of my toilet paper. But, I was pretty taken aback by Shirazi, you're in Brisbane. Okay. I can't help you. Yeah, it's you need to try different supermarkets, maybe. I don't know. Yes, Frankie, I think that's everyone on LSD. Everyone on LSD understands the universe has the perfect solution, and then they wake up and they're forgotten. Luke, no, it's 48. A Costco packet of toilet paper is 48 rolls. So that's what I got, 48 rolls. That's not bulk buying, that's a one buying. So, I could have at the time bought two of them because there were no restrictions because we didn't realize how people were going to get. And I've been to Costco once since then, and they didn't have any beef mince like they normally sell, fucking huge things. That's just what they sell, They didn't have any, and they didn't have toilet paper. When was that? A week ago? Probably a week ago. Don't even remember. But as always, Megaleech, hello to you, sir. How are you? David, the only illegal drug you've used, pot. See, I've not done pot because I don't smoke, so I don't know that I'd get any effect from it. I had a hash cookie someone made once that I kind of think I felt the effects of, but I wasn't sure. Australia 4-pack lasts you a month. Well, there's 5 adult-sized people in this house, so it doesn't last that long. I think we might have just opened the 48-pack today, actually. I think I heard talk, scuttlebutt, that, oh no, we're into the big game. So it lasts a while. And I'm hoping everyone fucking calms down. Or they impose really strict restrictions, like, you only go out once a week. Or Abigail Raven, the 20s, 90s. 90s. Oh, okay. Hash is hashish. Hash is a solid thing. Pot is weed, as in marijuana. What is hashish? What's the difference between hashish and marijuana? Marijuana is plant material from the cannabis plant. We all know that. Hashish, hash, derived from kif, or the dried resin of the flowering tops of mature, unpollinated female cannabis plants. So hash is cannabis, but it's this solid thing. It's a resin that comes from the flowers. There you go. So they're both from the cannabis plant. When we say marijuana, it's the leaf, and hash is a resin made from it. David, you're busted growing hydroponic pot. Oh no, you got a fine for it. Yeah. I remember many years ago. See, as I said, I never smoked weed, never smoked hash or whatever. But I was at a friend's place once, and this guy who's a bit of a fucking character, done time in a Thai prison for drug offences, and he was providing hash to some people in this house I was in, and it was a block that big, which was like 100 times more hash than I'd ever seen in my life. Because normally when you get hash, it's these tiny little things, and this was, and I, of course, said that is the most hash I've ever seen. And he would all fuck me. You should see the block it came off. Like, apparently his brother was a pretty serious crim, and he said this thing had been sliced off a block that was a couple of kilos of hash. And I was like, oh, cool. Standing next to a guy, his brother's with a really nasty crim. That's weird. And I am with you, David. It should be legal. The concept that marijuana is illegal while alcohol is legal is fucking ridiculous. Absolutely fucking ridiculous. So, fucking hallucinogens should be legal too. Okay, maybe not heroin and cocaine. Maybe that needs to be controlled. But the idea that marijuana is illegal anywhere is fucking ridiculous. That's absolutely absurd. It's logically unsupportable. It's just this decades of bullshit hype. There is no logical, medical, sociological reason for it to be illegal. Anyone who says otherwise is full of fucking shit. Unless they want to be consistent and say alcohol should be banned too, because alcohol is way more fucking dangerous. Way more health problems, way more societal problems, and more violence. Yes, Luke, magic mushrooms should be legal. What we need is a proper impairment test, because at the moment, I mean, I don't do any drugs, so this doesn't bother me personally, but it bothers me philosophically. See, I'm all in favor of random breath tests for getting drunk drivers, because drunk driving is bad. That's my hot take for this evening. That's my edgy, out there, take no prisoners hot take. drunk driving's bad. And driving under the influence of drugs that impairs your reflexes and perception, that is also bad and should be punished. But we don't have an adequate way to measure impairment. They just do these cheek swabs that detect drugs in your system, and there's no fucking measurement of the degree of impairment. And I think that's bullshit. What we need is a trustworthy test that measures the impairment of someone on drugs, and then they face the same penalty as someone under the influence of alcohol. I find it so weird, Benjamin, that while we're talking about drugs and hallucinogens, you come up with the stoner riddle. Why is there a D in fridge but not in refrigerator? That is a big question, Benjamin. Am I okay for bottles? I've got a couple. I've got a couple of empty bottles. I've got to get... Okay. Someone has started a joke on Facebook about fridges, and I'm okay with it. There's a fridge. Bottles, fridges. Someone's started a joke on Facebook. It's suddenly a whole bunch of Facebook people obsessing about fringes. And I'm down with weird, inexplicable things. There needs to be more internet absurdity. Actually, Michael, we had just got onto drugs. We talk about everything, but we're just on drugs. Is that, David, exactly what I was saying? Louis, the fridge. Well, we've got a couple of fridges. Adele, have a good night. I think I'm about to have a fridge auction. So it's a for sale. You have to come and get it. I don't know who's done the thing with the fridge auction, but it's absolutely brilliant. And the fact that it started happening while we were talking about drugs is just the best. No, Louis, it comes, those are magnets, fridge magnets. Definitely comes with the magnets, okay? And not all the contents. I'll give some of the contents of the fridge, but young Ms. Angry has some sourdough aging overnight in the fridge. You can't have the sourdough. She's going to bake that tomorrow. Benjamin, can I deliver the fridge to the UK? Interesting you should say that. I actually have a truck coming around tomorrow specifically to pick up some stuff to be shipped to the UK. So all I'm saying is your timing's good. Louis, can we have a close-up of the magnets? See, Michael, you can't have the bag of flyer. That is on the fridge, but not of the fridge. The magnets were actually merch. This was actually fan art. Huge oversized magnets that someone did fan art making me look far better than I actually look. And there's a little zombie AIDSy in the background too. Josh, that's a bold offer, $120. No, Ben, Josh is already, you've come in at 100. Josh has actually preempted you at 120. So it's apparently at 120. So do I keep... Michael, once... I know this is controversial. I know this is controversial, but once sauce is opened in the fridge, or it will grow the fungus. So it can stay in the cupboard until you open it, but then it goes in the fridge. And I know that's a controversial take, but I'm really not scared of doing... Okay, $200. We are up to $100. just for the sexy pics. You like the sexy pics, torn shirt and everything. And yeah, I definitely have that musculature as well. Jason, it's a very functional fridge. It has my ice in it. I'm very fond of the ice in the fridge. And it's got a couple of pizzas in it. And some cordials and stuff I use for flavor. Okay, items on top of the fridge. You can't have the flour. That's the flour is probably worth more than the fridge. There is a packet of Sultana bran on there. There is a packet of Sultana bran in that I could potentially throw in as a sweetener. Jacob, I am fine. Thank you for asking. Well, Scott, the ice is in the freezer. It's a fridge freezer. That one's just a freezer. That's full of food. That one's mainly full of ice because I like to use lots of ice over the course of a day. Scott, toilet roll. No toilet roll, my friend. What could I throw in as a treat? I could throw in half a bottle of agave syrup, okay? I could throw in half a bottle of agave syrup just as a sweetener. So that's it. Scott, you only want the fridge. That's okay. Fridge is okay. Yeah, you're right, Frank. The YouTube and Facebook are out of sync. So it can be very weird if you switch between them. Okay, so you see, I sucked you in, John, with the Sultana brand. Scott, I could remove the freezer. It's an interesting... Oh, Kyle, your bidding's at about $200 for the fridge auction. So, you know, it's generating a lot of... Do I have scented candles? It's really weird you ask that because I was actually buying candles today. I don't think they're scented. Where did I put them? I don't know. I'm very absent-minded. But I was buying candles so I can have a candlelit dinner on the weekend. Maybe I could invite the winner of the fridge auction to a candlelit dinner on the weekend. Jake, you can't have the fridge. You can't have the fridge because there's some very spirited bidding from it. Okay. I think now we have a deal. Benjamin wants the freezer bit of the fridge. And Scott just wants the fridge. So I think that's where we could do a deal. Kyle, well, okay. It's 170 pounds in Australian dollars is about $7,000, I think. We have a very shitty exchange rate. It is not good. So someone want chicken salt. I think I've got chicken salt. What do I have? I do have some stevia leaf tea. As I was saying earlier, I used this to sweeten some homemade grenadine tonight. Michael, can you cook meth in a fridge? That's a bit difficult right there. Frankie, yes, you did a colorized version of the fan art, remember. Well, look, there seems to be separate bidding for the fridge and the freezer parts. And so far as I know, we could chainsaw it into the two parts and they'd both work perfectly. I don't foresee any problems with chainsawing in half and using them both. What else is... Ooh. I do have very strange things on my freezer. This is chili rock candy. Specifically, sweet, sour, salty chili rock candy. This has actual chili oil in it. This shit's serious. I actually got this to make a beverage with. This... I don't have drugs, Scott, but I have chili candy, which is possibly as good as drugs. Now, see, Jake, you're on the wrong track. You're after an oven. This is a fridge auction. Right, Scott, plugs. Are there two? No, there's only one plug. Oh no, that's going to work against us. I was really banking on being able to chainsaw apart the fridge and the freezer. It's not going to work. Josh, I'm not angry enough. I haven't been to. Why would I be angry when there's a major fridge auction going on? This could be where I make my fortune. I had offers of toilet paper. That stuff's gold. Gold. Yes, Megaleech, the chili candy is an AIDSy killer. He's not even allowed to breathe around it. Sam, you've missed the start of the fridge auction, but you know I'm still open to better bids, Scott. The fridge is at the bottom. Yes, it's not one of those weird inverted ones that the communists invented. Don't know what that sort of communist action is. Fridge at the bottom, freezer at the top. You know what else is in there? Oh no, they're actually in here. Vodka Zuper Dupers. My toilet paper is metaphorical gold, John. Now Benjamin's after the show. No, Sam's not sold. I'm still open to offers. Open to offers on the fridge was, and I'm going to put a banner in here. I think I can do an animated banner. Yes. All right. Fridge auction now. That's as fast as I can read. Are now underway. Scroll across the bottom. Add. No, wait. Show. Fridge auction. I want to make it bigger by doing this. Fridge auction now underway. Oh, I'm easily amused. Benjamin, you are a front runner with $200, and I didn't see the sultanas part of the offer. So $200 and some sultanas is a pretty good offer, quite honestly. It's much better offer than I was expecting for, well, anything really tonight. So, Scott, 180 squares of toilet paper. See, this is we're in a Wild West economy these days. You know, when one can argue that toilet paper is worth more than money. What did my friend Glee send me? Oh, okay. Close friend day. I'm trying to work something out. No, that's all good. I was trying to check a message and it wasn't that important because it wasn't about a fridge. It wasn't about auctioning a fridge. So that is a more important topic. Ooh, I like that. Some bartering going on. Benjamin will split the fridge with you if he gets 90 squares. Ooh, see? That's what I mean about this Wild West economy that we're in at the moment. Frank, 500 pounds and a bottle of Haribo's. Only, Frank, you'd win if it was the sugar-free Haribo's that make you shit yourself uncontrollably if you eat too many of them. Yeah, Catherine, that's the idea of putting the bottom scroll underneath. I just remembered it's a feature that I can use. Haven't used it for ages. There are actually a whole bunch of features on StreamYard that I don't use that I could. I'm thinking, ooh, 3-ply toilet squares. John, see, there's the way the economy works now, there's no one currency for the bidding. Some people have been bidding in pounds, some people have been bidding in dollars, some have been bidding in squares of toilet paper. It's wide open, is what I'm saying. Okay, so I finished my grenadine cordial. I think I might get it. Catherine, you say liquor out of Haribo's. You could melt your little gummy bears into get flavors from your booze. Oh, Frank, have you not heard that? Sugar-free, free Haribo gummy bear review Reddit. Is that it? Okay. I'm going to read this famous story. That's from 5 years ago. Don't get Haribo sugar-free gummy bears unless it's a gift for someone you hate. Okay, so this is this guy's story. Words cannot express what happened to me after eating these. The gummy bear cleanse. If you're someone that can tolerate sugar substitute, enjoy. If you're like the dozens of people who tried my order, run. First, for taste, I would rate these a 5. So good. Soft, true to taste flavors like sugar variety. I was a happy camper. But, or should I say but with a double T, not long after eating about 20 of these, all hell broke loose. I had a gastrointestinal experience like nothing I've ever imagined. Cramps, sweating, bloating beyond my worst nightmare. I've had food poisoning from bad shellfish. It was almost a skip in the park compared to what was going on inside me. Then came the flatulence, heavens to Murgatroyd. The sound, like trumpets calling the demons back to hell. The stench, like 1,000 rotten corpses vomited. I couldn't stand to stay in one room for fear of succumbing to my own odors. But wait, there's more. What came out of me felt like someone tried to funnel Niagara Falls through a coffee straw. I swear my sphincters were screaming. It felt like delicate starfish was gaping maw, projectile vomiting, a torrential flood of toxic waste. 100% liquid, flammable liquid, napalm. It was actually a bit humorous for a nanosecond, but it was just beyond anything I could imagine possible. And it went on for hours. I felt violated when it was all over, which I think might have been sometime in the early morning of the next day. There was stuff coming out of me that I ate at my wedding in 2005. I had 5 pounds of these innocent-looking, delicious-tasting hell bears, so I told a friend about what happened, thinking it had to be some type of sensitivity I had to the sugar substitute. And in spite of my warnings and graphic description, she decided to take her chances and take them off my hand. Silly woman. All the same for her, and a phone call from her while on the toilet, because she climbed up living in the bathroom for the spell, telling me she really wished she could have listened. I think she was crying. Her sister was skeptical and suspected we were exaggerating. She took them to work since there was still 99% of a 5-pound bag left. She works for a construction company where there are builders, roofers, house painters, landscapers, etc. Lots of people who generally have limited access to toilets on a given day. Can't imagine where all these poor men and women poop that day. I keep envisioning men on roofs, crossing their legs, trying to decide if they can make it down the ladder or if they should just jump. If you order these, best of luck to you. Please don't post a video review of the aftershocks. P.S. When I ordered these, the warnings and disclaimers and legalese were not posted. I'm not a moron. Also, not sure why so many people assume I'm a man. I'm a woman. We poop too. Of course, our poop sparkles and smells like a walk in the meadow of wildflowers. Thanks all for great comments. I've been enjoying reading them. So glad the horror show I experienced from snacking on these has at least made some people smile. That's a famous Reddit thread. So I would 100% legit try those sugar-free Haribo bears if I found them, because I am 1000% sure that is a massive exaggeration. Yes, the sugar substitutes, a side effect often is gastro, basically. But yeah, not like that. So I'm going to leave you with that. I'm going to go to bed. I thank you one and all for joining in. The fridge auction was really interesting. If you're on YouTube, you won't know why I was saying that. It was a bunch of chat coming from Facebook. Obviously, someone's prank, which I think was fucking hilarious. It was really fun. So, yeah, I don't know who did that, but that was really funny. So I'm going to go to bed. It's another day at work, even though I'm working from home. It's a long commute from my bedroom. That's my workstation just behind me. That's where I work. And my recreational computer is in there. I have them in different rooms to separate. So, like, I commute in the morning to work, and when I'm done, I commute out there. So it's different. It's just so I've got a clear break between work and home, because working from home can get really fucking strange. So thank you, one and all, for joining in. You're fabulous people. I hope to see you again soon. I will try and do another stream tomorrow night. I think these catch-ups are good. Maybe help us stay sane. Might have AZ tomorrow. His problems might get sorted with a freaky tenant who's literally across the hall from him. I saw her when I visited last, and that would be the last time I visited AZ for a long time. Here, I'll see if he might be here tomorrow. I didn't even open. I'll open it up again another day. Thanks, Glee, for dropping by. Yes, but you saw Haribo bears. They were probably sugar ones. They have to be sugar-free ones. I would absolutely try them if I had them, because I do not believe that story. I think it's bullshit. Diarrhea, yeah. And it's not really diarrhea. It's this stuff that your body can't process, and so it runs right through you. Whereas diarrhea is actually a fecal thing. This is technically not a fecal thing because it just goes straight through you. But we finished talking about fecal matters. I will try and talk about something nicer tomorrow. Get back to talking about drugs. That's better. Look after yourself, one and all. We live in strange times. We need to rely on each other to maintain some semblance of sanity. I'll see you again soon.